Well, our next guest could definitely write an essay or two on how to throw a fabulous dinner party. Andrew Hoge, style writer for 425 magazine. But not only that, he's also the director of celebrations at the Fairmont Olympic Hotel. He joins me now. And I have to say, you really do know how to just put an extra bit of fabulousness on everything you do.
That is very kind, thank you. We love a party.
And the director of celebrations, no less, best title ever on the planet.
Thank you.
So you know all about incorporating small luxury touches into an event. That makes a difference, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, we all love like going to these fun hotels and really nice dining experiences.
Yeah.
And the thing about a hotel is it's all about the experience, having touch points throughout the stay or the day or the dinner that just add a little sparkle to the overall experience. So that's what separates it.
And it's something that we may not even think of. So I'm glad that you kind of compiled a list. Let's get started with your ideas. Let's start setting up individual towels in your washroom. They do that at the fancy hotels.
They do, and at the restaurants. Going into a fun restaurant's like washroom is like one of my favorite things, and I love it when you have the individual hand towels because it's so clean, it's so elegant.
Yes.
They come in different colors, and if you really want to, you can spritz it with some essential oil just for an added
I was going to
pizzazz.
say, does this smell good? Oh
No.
my God. Oh, I thought it did. It did. Oh, maybe it's that
It's
right
brand
there.
new.
That is fantastic. It takes a little extra effort. But
It
just on the
does.
front end.
But it's nice. That way everybody doesn't have to use the same hand towel. It's just a nice little
And then you're
something
throwing
extra.
it in the wash later. Who
Exactly,
cares?
and you get to reuse it.
And you can get that at what? You know, IKEA
Yeah,
or
or Target
Home
or
Goods,
something. It's
Target.
super, super easy.
I love that. All right. A nice hand soap and lotion.
Yes, so, you know, I also love a restaurant or a hotel that has a really distinguished soap and lotion. And honestly, whenever I put it into my washroom for like my dinner parties or something like that, half the people come out and say, "Oh my gosh, this smells so good." And it's so simple, but it's just a nice little touch throughout the evening.
Well, there's a reason why certain hotels have certain lines that they choose to part. Like Le Labo is
at the Fairmont,
at the
absolutely.
Fairmont, and it's that rose, and
it's like that
it
brand
smells so
consistency.
good.
It's really,
And
really
I
nice.
Put the lotion everywhere when you go to the bathroom because it smells so good. That's a really good point, and I think that's something that's perfectly fine. You don't have to use it every day.
No. You don't have to. Take your normal soap for the everyday and pull it out for your dinner parties or get-togethers.
Fantastic. Okay. Decorate the table, you say. Don't skimp on that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that probably sounds pretty straightforward, but it doesn't have to be complicated.
Okay.
I am a big fan of florals and or candles. Just do something like an arrangement in monotone, just a single flower. It's super simple and super elegant, and then maybe just, you know, bring in some corresponding colors with the candles.
And everyone, if you were wondering, yes, candlesticks are back in style. My husband tried to argue me on this point, and I was like, no, they're fabulous, and everyone loves them, how they drip, and
absolutely.
Most of them are dripless.
And the fun thing about tapered candles is when you're sitting down, here's the little trick, as they melt, the light goes right in front of your face. So if you're looking at somebody across the table, it's just a little design touch. Yeah.
Everyone looks good by candlelight. You say personalize the welcome experience. This is something I'd never actually even thought of doing when I had a dinner party.
Absolutely. I mean, we all do dinner parties, and I'm sure everybody has an amazing time, but taking that extra step and that extra effort to sort of acknowledge your guest preferences just makes for a more memorable experience. So one thing that I like to do is to just have a little something to nosh on before the dinner actually starts. And it could be chocolate. I personally love something sweet before we launch into dinner. It just sort of cleanses the palate in a different way. But you know, if you know your guests like toffee versus chocolate versus brittle, maybe just having some options available for them to choose from.
I actually love this idea because sometimes I go out of my way to prepare this like huge charcuterie board and everything to have them for everyone before dinner, and then everyone's full.
Exactly.
When it comes time to dinner. So just something like this, and then all I have to do is pick this up at the store.
Absolutely.
Genius.
Super easy.
Yes. Beverages. Beverages are key.
Yes, so super simple again. Offer sparkling and still water. That's what they do at the restaurants. It's such a nice option when you're dining, and people have preferences, right?
I do. So, I love a sparkling water.
You and me both. So having both options is fantastic.
And it does elevate it just ever so slightly. You also say to display your wine. Don't just leave it, in the kitchen and pour it.
In the fridge,
display
exactly. It's nice, especially if you're having, an anniversary dinner or something special, and they bring the champagne bucket and they display it nice next to you. If you're opening up a really nice bottle of wine or something that's very memorable, put it out for display. It's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
It also looks really good.
And then the way you've displayed the flatware and the dishes, I think that, I mean, it's simple, but it does look so elegant.
Thank you.
Here, I'll try to show you
Absolutely.
right there.
And my tip here is if you are, throughout the dining experience, fancy restaurants will lay in silverware and flatware. So and you can just do this with like the main course, offering a new fork and knife.
Okay, so you just lay it in there. I love that. And then finally, something that I can't wait to come to your house for, the gift bags. You actually prepared fun little gift bags.
This is a little bit extra, but how fun is it to walk away with something to commemorate the night? It can be as simple as a piece of chocolate, a menu, or a recipe, that you served that night. This is a zodiac candle, so you could buy it for each of your guests to correspond with their zodiac. So yeah, just a little touch makes everybody feel a little bit more special.
You know, and I've just recently been very much into this idea of throwing your own parties. We talked to Shantae, who threw her own huge birthday bash in Cabo. But what a great way if you're throwing your own birthday, to give a gift back to. I think that's such a fun thing.
I think so too.
Oh, Andrew, this has all been so delightful. I can't wait for my invite.
Soon,
for your next party?
Yes. Always. I'll have the chocolates waiting.
All right. Thank you so much.